10,000 crowns, then you need to pay only 82 crowns as tax on that total amount. There are three different types of accounts available: AF account, ISK account, KF account. More the people are investing, it is more safer for everyone to start their investment journey over here. Hi guys, how are you doing? I hope you are doing good. I can't do this in similar way as Pranali does, but then that was my very humble try. But then today's topic is about investing and how to start your investment journey in Sweden. Whenever a person decides to move to a new country, what exactly that person is looking for is like a stability, being more financially independent as well. And when we talk about being financially independent, we always need to create some passive incomes apart from what you earn from your salaries. Keeping the money or saving the money only in our saving account is not going to help us to survive in longer run. That's what is the purpose of today's topic as well. I want to share my investment journey since the time I came to Sweden. We will more focus on like being in Sweden, how you can start your investment journey in Sweden's stock market. In this video, what we are going to talk more about is like, is it safe for me being a foreign nationalist to invest in stock market? Whether Sweden is the best place to invest? Is it a good investment to start with? We will also talk about what are the different mediums by which we can invest into stock market. What are different kinds of account which you can use to invest into stock market, and also how exactly taxation work for such kind of accounts. And you don't need to have a very good financial knowledge. You can just start with some basic things. You can follow a few of the guidelines what we are going to talk about, but then that should be quite good enough so that you can start with your investment journey. Disclaimer, I'm not a investment advisor. I'm just going to share my own journey with you, and probably that can be helpful for you when you start your journey. But then I hope you like it. First point was like safety. If I put my money or even a single crown anywhere, I always want to think, is it safe to invest or is it really going to grow? 7 out of 10 people or 10 Swedes over here are directly exposed to stock market or to investing. And I would say that is very good number to start your journey from. Also, to give you more perspective in terms of number, 2.7 million of Swedes or Swedish nationals are directly investing into stock markets, which is again quite a huge number considering the population, which accounts to almost 25% of the total population directly investing their money into ISK account. If you have to compare this number with UK, there this number is hardly 12%. So 25% is very good number. And why I'm giving these references? Because stock market is more about supply and demand. So if there is more supply, there is more demand, it helps you in bringing more liquidity so that you can keep on trading, you can keep on buying and selling your stuff. More the people are investing, it is more safer for everyone to start their investment journey over here. Where to start from? That's the first question, which I also had. And because my Swedish is not that great, it was quite a troublesome journey for me to understand where to start from. But then thanks to a few of my friends, I was able to start that journey. First, we will focus on that particular part, which is more about like how you can start your journey. The first thing what you need is like an investment account. But where to open this investment account? Your traditional banks, where you have your salary or your savings account, they can also help you into opening an investment account. Also, there are specialized online brokers as well. Usually we call them as brokers. There are online brokers as well. You probably might have heard about Avanza or Nordnet or Lesa or Leveler. So all these are different platforms which can help you in opening an account. When you compare with the traditional bank and online brokers, it is always better to go with like the online broker, because they have very less charges as compared to your traditional banks. I am personally using Avanza and Nordnet, and I can tell you Avanza is much better in terms of their UI, in terms of the information what they provide related to a stock. And the challenge in Avanza is the language, because everything is in Swedish and sometimes it is quite troublesome for me to understand. And that's the same challenge with the banks as well. I think Nordea is still having a better acceptance of English, so you can still have that. Nordnet as such is completely in English, so you can use it seamlessly, you can understand what exactly is available, and they have very good products as well when it comes to investing kind of funds categorization, how they have done it in their app. Nordnet, if you know or you are only particular about using an investment platform which is in English. Avanza, if you have a bit hold on Swedish as well. You don't need anything like additional documents for opening account. It can be done online. You just need to have a bank ID and a personal number. Of course, if you have a personal number, then you have a bank ID. You open your ISK account or KF account or AF account, investment account into these different account providers. So traditional banks like SAB, Swedbank, Handelsson Bank, Nordea Bank, they also give this option of having an investment account. And there are other online providers as well like Avanza and Nordnet who can provide you with an investment account. Now what we know till now is like who are those guys who are going to provide us with different kind of investment accounts. When you try to log in and try to open an account, you will be asked which kind of account you want to start with. There are three different types of accounts available. First one is something called as AF account. Then there is another one called as ISK account. And then there is something called as KF account. All these three different accounts have their own features. They are a bit different in terms of taxation as well. We need to be very precise on what kind of account we want to use. So when we talk about AF account, you need to understand that you need to pay flat 30% as tax on whatever capital gain you have. The tax is not deducted upfront when you make the profit, but for the whole year when you are filing the tax returns, you need to sit down, write down all the details about what stock you bought, what stock you have sold, at what price you had bought that, at what price you have sold, whatever is the difference for that one. That is what you need to report, and you need to pay 30% flat tax on the capital gains of it. The advantage of having AF account is if suppose you have made losses and also you have made some profit, so you can directly deduct that loss from your profit, and then on the residual amount only you need to pay tax, which is 30% of that amount. So that's the good part of AF. What is the disadvantage of having AF account? The disadvantage is like you need to sit down at the end of the year before you file the taxes and write down all the transactions with the name of stock, at what price you bought it, how much quantity you bought it, what was the total price, and then at what cost you sold it. Or for each and every stock you need to do this activity. So if you see this process, this is the biggest disadvantage of having a AF kind of account. Now we will talk about the most famous account in Sweden, and most of them they use this account. It is called as ISK account. Easiest part with ISK is the way that the taxes are filed for ISK. You don't need to report anything to Skatteverket separately on your own. It will be directly reported by your stockbrokers, and there will be a flat rate charge which is 0.882% for this year, like for 2023. Just to give you in monetary terms, if you have invested 10,000 and that is the value of investment what you have done, 10,000 crowns, then you need to pay only 82 crowns as tax on that total amount. If you make any losses, there won't be anything coming back to you. There is nothing called as profit and loss as such which you can compensate what we spoke into AF account, and that's the reason it is called as flat rate tax. About the last kind of investment account which is called as KF account, or also called as capital foresight. It is basically a insurance product as such, and the advantage of having capital foresight account is that you buy the shares and you decide who will be the beneficiary in unforeseen scenario on yourself, if something happens to you, who will be the beneficiary or who will be getting that money altogether from your KF account. In case of AF and ISK account, your natural beneficiary will get that amount, and in KF account you can nominate who is going to get that. So probably in your case it can be your grandchildren's or your children. The second difference as compared to AF and ISK account is you don't really own the shares directly in your name or in your account. It is your broker who owns the share on your name. You are still the owner of it, but this makes a big difference when it comes to the voting rights. So if as a shareholder you don't get any voting rights towards the action plan of that particular company wherein you have invested. So it's always your broker who owns the share, but then they own the share in your name. Now we have gone through all these three different types of accounts. At times bit difficult choice which account should have. I can tell you, you can have all three different kind of account at the same time. That is possible. Just to give you a holistic comparison, if you are going to make at least 2% return on your investment value, then it is always better to have a ISK account or a KF account instead of AF account. Why I am saying that is like in ISK and KF account, you keep on paying a flat rate of tax, irrespective whether you make profit or whether you make any loss. It might happen that my amount has been always 10,000. I have not made any profit, but still every year I keep on paying taxes on that, like 82 crowns every year. So considering that factor, I should at least have a gain of 2% so that I can make some profit or I can make some money, or else it will be a loss for me every year paying a flat rate on that. What should be the minimum value of investing to start with? If you talk about stocks, it's the stock price, and the stock price might be like starting from 1 crown to whatever, and there might be like 400-500 crowns per share. And there is no minimum amount as such. But then when it comes to fund, the funds might have a minimum amount of at least 100 to start with. You need to see exactly, because few of them might be like 50 crowns as well. So depending upon which fund you are choosing, there might be a minimum amount. It might be 50 crowns or it might be 100 crowns. So with bare minimum amount, you can start your investment journey. What happens when I decide that now I'm moving out of Sweden and I have invested amount? Your ISK account is altogether connected to your personal number, and then till the time you are able to keep your personal number as well as your bank ID active, you can still continue investing over here, but then also filing the taxes. My personal recommendation is like always, before I decide that I'm completely moving out of Sweden, I would like to close down my ISK or KF account and move out of Sweden with my complete amount as such. If the bank ID is deactivated, I need to be here personally to make sure that it is reactivated by my bank again, and then I can start using all the connected services. If I decide to move out of Sweden, of course I want to carry back all my savings along with me. Thank you guys if you're still sticking around till this point, and this is our humble try so that the problems which I faced initially in understanding how to start my investment journey, I hope that I'm going to make it a bit easier for you to understand. Don't hesitate to write down if you have any questions about stock investing or anything related to that into the comment section. Thank you for today. We will come again with another topic soon, and we will also continue with this investment journey. Depending upon how much you like this video, we will still make another series on different investment options. On some other day, with some other topic, something like that. Hi guys, how are you doing? Hi guys, how are you doing?